But let's get, to try to set the stage here, refresh ourselves, let's review the events in Paul's life. He, of course, when he was adverse to the Christians, he was holding the coats while they stoned Stephen. So when he was stoned, Paul was standing there holding the coats. But he gets converted on the road to Damascus. Most of you know the story. Many people don't realize that he was in Damascus for about 3 years, during which he went to Arabia for some indeterminate time. We don't know if he was all 3 years in Arabia. We know he was there for a total of 3 years, that is Damascus. But he went in the Arabian desert for some period of time where apparently he was instructed directly by the Lord. But he was forced ultimately to flee Damascus, in fact, in a basket at night. And he spends then 10 years in his hometown, Tarsus. 10 years teaching and what have you there. He's converted by then, of course. Barnabas, looking for leadership for the emerging church, brings him to Antioch, which served as the capital, if you will, for most of the Gentile operations, or the early church operations, well north of Jerusalem. And it's from there that he does his first missionary journey. And during that time, he visits the area that Timothy's in. He may have met Timothy then. But in the meantime, after that missionary journey, is the famous Council of Jerusalem in Acts 15. After that is the second missionary journey. It's the second time on that journey that he goes to Lystra and Derbe and all that and encounters Timothy again, and this time has him join him. And then is the third missionary journey of the three. But then he's arrested in Judea. This brings you to about 58 AD, roughly. He's imprisoned in Caesarea, in part to protect him, because he was arrested to protect him, frankly. But he's imprisoned in Judea for 2 years. He appeals to Caesar, and he's shipwrecked on the way to Rome. Very famous event. And he spends 3 months on Malta after the shipwreck. He finally gets to Rome, where he's in house arrest. Many people get these arrests confused. His first arrest, he's in a rented house, but he's under house arrest. And so it's there where that's about where the book of Acts ends, if you will. What happened subsequently infer from remarks there in the various letters. It's during this house arrest in Rome that he writes what are called the prison epistles. And that's Ephesians, Philippians, and Colossians. Now, he's not in prison, really. He's in a home. But the point is, it was while he was under arrest that that was God's way of getting him to stop traveling and do some writing. And he wrote 3 very fundamental, very profound epistles. But he's ultimately acquitted of the charges and released. And so that's when he writes his first letter to Timothy that we've just finished. And he also writes Titus, which is a very similar letter to 1 Timothy. But then again, he's arrested and this time put in a dungeon, and he realizes this is the end of it. He knows the end is coming. And that's when he wrote 2 Timothy, the letter that we're about to read. So that's a quick perspective of our friend Paul.